Welcome to episode 548 of AI Brief. I'm Amin, and alongside me is Leah. We have got a really fantastic deep dive for you today. We are going to unpack, OpenAI's lightning-fast development of a custom AI chip for starters. Plus, there's this unexpected $500 million alliance formed by tech giants to literally eradicate the common cold.
That one is going to surprise a lot of people, I think.
Oh, definitely. And finally, we will look at the unfolding legal and political maneuvers that are strongly hinting at Anthropic's Fable 5 making a major comeback.
It is such an interesting lineup today because these updates perfectly illustrate how AI companies are expanding their reach. They are moving way past just building software models. They are dropping all the way down into the physical silicon and even crossing over into human biology and public health.
So let's jump straight into that hardware layer with our new updates. OpenAI has officially revealed details on their first custom chip, which is codenamed Jalapeño.
I absolutely love that code name.
It is a great name. And the wild part is that they co-built this with Broadcom in just 9 months. Now, this is an ASIC, an application-specific integrated circuit. It is designed specifically for inference, meaning it runs the finished models for users on things like ChatGPT and Codex.
So they are not trying to tackle the training side of things where NVIDIA is still dominating?
Spot on. But what really stands out is that OpenAI says the performance per watt is substantially better than the current state-of-the-art. And they have a stated goal to reach 10 gigawatts of custom compute by 2029.
Wow. 10 gigawatts is an absolutely massive scale.
It is astronomical. Think of it like a world-class restaurant that just got tired of buying off-the-shelf kitchen appliances. So instead, they are forging their own custom ovens and mixers to perfectly match the exact menu they are cooking.
That restaurant analogy works so well because they are tuning the hardware for their specific recipes. But we really need to pause on that 9-month time frame.
Please do, because that seems impossibly fast.
It is staggering. Going from design to the factory in 9 months is widely considered the fastest ASIC development cycle ever achieved. And the reason it matters is that when a company owns the silicon and the models and the end product, they can tune every single layer. That unlocks massive efficiencies for both cost and speed.
That makes a lot of sense. Speaking of massive efficiencies, let's look at the biology side with the Intercept initiative.
Yeah.
Because the productivity loss we accept from routine illnesses is just wild. We are talking about the average person losing 15 to 25 days a year.
Oh my goodness. That really adds up.
It totals roughly $600 billion globally every single year. So to fight this, Stripe, Anthropic, the OpenAI Foundation, and a few others are throwing $500 million into the Intercept initiative. They want to fund respiratory virus prevention. Things like shots, sprays, pills, and even air cleaning tech for schools and offices.
The strategy behind that money is really what is fascinating here. They are not trying to bring these products to the final consumer market.
Because that would cost billions upon billions, I assume.
Precisely. Instead, they are aiming to bridge what is called the awkward middle of research. Traditional pharma companies usually run far away from that early, highly experimental phase. So these AI giants are using their deep pockets to de-risk the foundational science.
So they prove it works, and then someone else takes over.
For sure. Once the science is de-risked, traditional investors can step in for the final stretch of clinical trials.
It is a brilliant play. Now let's pivot over to Anthropic's Fable 5 comeback. So Fable and Mythos are currently offline because they are complying with the U.S. government order, but the smoke signals are everywhere that it is returning.
What kind of evidence are we seeing for that?
Well, if you look at the Claude Code update logs, there are direct references to Fable in there. Also, the Purchase Separately tag has been quietly removed from the system. And on top of that, Representatives Liccardo, Obernolt, and Liu set a June 26th deadline for the Commerce Department to give a clear timeline on this.
The political maneuvering happening around this is quite something to watch. Wired actually reported that the Trump administration is significantly happier dealing with co-founder Tom Brown over CEO Dario Amodei.
Oh, wait, really? Did they give a reason why?
They did. The quote in the reporting was literally that Brown is not being a weirdo and that he can actually engage.
Wow. That is incredibly blunt.
It is very blunt. And concurrently with that, the legal tech firm Legion just filed a lawsuit calling the government's order unlawful retaliation. So when you look at it objectively, removing the outspoken CEO from the talks really seems to be thawing out the freeze.
So we have covered custom chips and human biology, but it is time to zoom out and look at everything else happening in AI today. Over to you for this part.
Thank you. So, taking a broader look, we are seeing a massive shift in agentic browsing. There is a new browser called Aside that is YC-backed, and it actually turns your browsing history into a local on-device memory.
Oh, I like the sound of on-device memory for privacy.
Definitely. And it can sign into your accounts via autofill without you helping it. It actively completes tasks on your behalf. For example, it can identify and cancel unused subscriptions totally on its own. It is already sitting at #1 on 3 different browser agent benchmarks.
That is fantastic. I am so ready for AI to take over all my mundane administrative computer chores.
I think we all are. And connecting to that desktop agent theme, Google DeepMind just added computer use functionality directly into Gemini 3.5 Flash. It lets the model physically navigate browsers, open apps, and just use the desktop.
Being able to hand off busy work like that is going to be game-changing.
It really is. Now, looking at the talent wars, there is a huge wave of departures over at Google AI. Jonas Adler, Alexander Pritzel, and Arthur Conmey are all leaving to join Anthropic.
Wow, Anthropic is really scooping up top talent.
They absolutely are. And meanwhile, we have a supergroup forming. Former employees from Anthropic, OpenAI, Google, and xAI have launched a new lab called Mirendil.
What are they focusing on?
They are building AI that conducts self-improving science R&D, so pure scientific research. And finally, on a slightly different note regarding user behavior, the information just reported that well over half of the traffic on xAI's Grok is driven entirely by explicit NSFW content.
Well, that is quite the contrast, going from self-improving scientific research all the way to NSFW content generation. Let's bring this down to practical application. We have 8 trending AI tools today, and I want to run through a quick use case for each one so you can see how to apply them.
Let's hear them.
First up is Claude Tag. Basically, you can tag @Claude directly in Slack. So if you need to delegate a quick team task, you just ping the model in the chat without breaking your workflow.
That keeps everything so centralized.
It does. Second is OpenArt Director. Picture a creative director generating a highly polished 5-minute concept film purely from chat, just to pitch a new marketing vibe. Third is Krea 2.
Oh, I know Krea 2. That is the open weights image model.
Absolutely. The use case there is an in-house design team generating high-quality assets privately without sending their data to a random cloud server. Number 4 is OCR4, built by Mistral.
How does that one handle complex documents?
Amazingly well. It extracts text from really layout-heavy legal documents or financial reports without losing the formatting context. Number 5 is Reline. This gives you perfect meeting notes without the awkwardness of having an AI bot actively join your video call.
Oh, thank goodness. Nobody likes staring at the transcription bot in the meeting window.
For sure, it is so distracting. Number 6 is Tesana. This lets an indie developer prototype a fully playable video game using just their imagination and text prompts. Number 7 is Herald.
Is Herald the accounting tool?
Yes, exactly. Well, it is built for accounting teams. It automatically extracts and validates invoice data and pipes it straight into an ERP system. And lastly, number 8 is SnapVee Studio. This is for an educator or marketer to manage their entire content creation pipeline from one single workspace.
You know, when you look at all 8 of those tools, there's a very distinct trend. Most of them, especially things like Herald, Reline, and Claude Tag, are aggressively focused on removing workplace friction. They are trying to completely hide the AI part, so you just experience seamless productivity without feeling like you are fighting with a new software tool.
That is a perfect summary of where the space is heading, hiding the complexity so the user just gets the results. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive for today. But before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought tying back to our top story about OpenAI.
The Jalapeño chip.
Yes, the Jalapeño chip. If OpenAI's current models are already capable of helping human engineers design a completely custom AI chip in just 9 months, well, how long is it going to be until the AI is designing the automated factories that physically build those chips? It is a pretty wild feedback loop to consider. Make sure to follow us on your favorite platform, and please share this deep dive with a friend or a coworker who needs a quick shortcut to being well informed.
Thank you so much for joining us. See you in the next episode.
See you in the next episode.